Do I have any leapers in the house tonight? Come on in the room, leapers. Y'all know what we're about to do? We are about to leap, leap, leap. Where are you leaping to? Man, you leap into a brand new, beautiful, healed version of yourself. Where are you leaping from? Man, we leaping from that old, broken, wounded version of ourselves, the one that was thinking and speaking out of a wounded place. We are leaping into a brand new, healed version of ourselves. Do I have any leapers in the house? Who's going on this healing journey with me? Who's going on the journey? Do I have anybody in my Facebook family that's going on the healing journey with me? What about Instagram, Snow Leopard's Leap? And then my family on YouTube at the Leopard Chair with Lakeisha. Are we going on this healing journey together? I'm Lakeisha Bradford, divorce recovery strategist. And because of what I have went through and experienced in my life through divorce and recovery, then it has brought me to this point where I help men and women recover from divorce so that they can live a healed life without hurting long. And how do I help you do that? Through my animal-like instinct strategies. Now, these strategies are exclusive to my brand new book that is going to be released in the fall. It's called Snow Leopard's Leap. You'll find all about the meaning of snow leopards and other animals and how we can use their instincts to recover from divorce. Man, today is day 15, y'all. Day 15 of our 30-day journey together. Well, I have given you 14 reasons. Tonight is going to be the 15th reason. But by the end of our journey together, at the end of the 30 days, you will have 30 reasons why you should bounce forward into a new, healed version of yourself. In fact, let's just say that together. You can type it in the chat so I know that you are live in the room. I just want you to type this in the chat. New, healed version of myself. Say that and release those words into the atmosphere. I am walking into a new, healed version of myself. Well, y'all have tuned into a hot topic tonight. A hot topic tonight. Well, the topic tonight is be careful what you attract while you are broken. Broken or wounded. Listen, we got to pay really close attention to what happens. And I'm going to break that down for you. At the end of the 30 minutes, you are going to definitely want to make sure that you are aware of what you're attracting into your life when you are on your healing journey. Man, listen, I don't know if you saw the little reel that I did to advertise for tonight's segment, but each time I stand before you very honest, very real, and authentic. Why do I do that? Because I know what I had to go through each time I've had to recover from divorce. I'm not celebrating that. I just don't want, if I can help somebody not make the same mistakes that I made, then why not help? That's what being a Christian, being Christ-like is all about. Just helping others on the journey. If you are listening to this live and you have recovered from something, then please share your story with others so that they can recover as well. And that's what I'm doing over the last 14 days. Today is night 15, and we have another 15 to go on our healing journey. Now remember, the things that we are discussing in our 30-day live, they're exclusive to this 30-day live. There are brand new animal-like instinct strategies that have never been discussed in the 30-day live that you will find in the book Snow Leopard's Leap. So stay tuned to the 30 days, because I will give you an opportunity to pre-order the book. And I'm giving away a free ebook. So y'all better stay tuned. I can't wait to drop the knowledge to you on that ebook. Well, I'm ready to jump into tonight's topic. So yeah, man, we're going to talk about how we want to be able to just use some wisdom and proceed with caution when we are on our post-divorce healing journey. Why? Because if we are not completely healed, then we will attract something or someone into our brokenness. And if we do continue on the road of healing, once you get healed, you are no longer attracted to what you brought into your life when you were broken. You look at that thing or that person or that situation and you go like, what was I thinking? Be careful what you attract when you are broken. I want to talk a little bit about that because I've had to experience that, as I shared on my reel this morning. I have had to recover from divorce more than once. And I remember there being a time in my life, this is true, you guys, what I'm about to share with you. Right after my first divorce, I did not allow myself an opportunity to heal. I immediately jumped into the dating world and I started dating someone that I fell in love with. Well, that relationship ended and I was broken hearted. My heart was broken. And before even allowing myself an opportunity to heal from that broken heart, I immediately started dating someone else. I remember this like it was yesterday. I literally went out on a date with someone in the month of October of this particular year. This was years and years and years and years ago. I went out with someone on a first date in October, and by December I was married to this person. Now y'all sitting there shaking your head because that just don't make no sense. Do you see what I mean when I say when you are broken, you don't really need to make any decisions, because you will make decisions and look back on them and say, what the what? How did I even think that this was right? Listen, please don't make the same mistakes that I've made. If you are on a divorce journey, allow yourself the opportunity to heal God's way. If not, you will make decisions that you may possibly regret and be unable to tolerate. So how did that situation end with me? Where I immediately jumped into another marriage with someone I barely knew. And in my broken, wounded state. How did that end? I didn't stay married to that person long at all. Not that that person wasn't a good person, but that person wasn't not best for me in my healed state. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You see, your vision is blurred when you are broken and wounded. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but you really can't even see clearly. You think. Can't nobody tell me that I didn't know what I was doing. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? No one could have told me, and they probably did. Knowing my family, or my friends, they probably said, girl, you sure? And when you're broken and wounded, you think you're seeing clearly, but your vision is skewed. You do not see all, you don't see. You see based on your hurt position. I hope I'm helping somebody. You make decisions based on the condition of your wound, and that's a bad place to be. So if you can hear my heart, I'm begging you to allow God to heal your broken heart. His word promises us in so many scriptures that he is a healer of broken hearts. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I just want to give you a couple of examples to just share with you the severity of what happens when you, what you attract when you are wounded. So I'm going to start first because I like using animal-like examples. This one's not in my book, but have you ever driven alongside the road, or have you ever, those of you who are hunters, have you ever hunted in the woods and you've seen a wounded animal? Maybe the wounded animal was hit by a car but didn't die right away, and you saw that it was wounded, maybe it releasing blood. Can anybody just think in your mind if you've ever seen a wounded animal that's still alive but wounded? What do you notice about that wounded animal? You notice that, man, especially in the wild, wounded animals attract predators. Y'all better hear me. Wounded animals become easy targets for predators because in their weakened state, and where they are physically in their weakened state, and their ability is impaired. They cannot defend themselves because they're not as strong as they were when they were healed, but they make themselves very vulnerable and they attract predators. The same thing happens to us as humans, when we are wounded. We are vulnerable, we attract predators, we're not at operating at our greatest strength. Our ability to defend ourselves is impaired. You may be sitting there listening like, that's not me, can't nobody do that to me, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. Listen, when you're wounded, your thinking, your ability to reason is also compromised. When your heart is broken, then it impacts other areas of your physical, mental, and emotional capacity. Man, going back to the wounded animal that's in the wild, wounded animals attract scavengers as well. Scavengers that are looking for easy meals. Whew. You ever seen a wounded animal? Here come vultures. Here come hyenas or scavenging birds. Why? Because they're drawn to the scent of blood. They sense weakness and they prey on that. They attack that. And irregardless of how you feel post-divorce, you might be excited. I hear a lot of people that say they're excited about it. They're glad it ended. If you don't deal, I don't care how happy or excited you are about closing that chapter of your life. You can be happy and broken. Your heart can be broken at the same time. Yes, somebody better recognize that. If you don't deal with the issues of the heart, then out of it come other issues. So for those who may be thinking, well, I'm fine, I don't have to deal with this, I can treat this. No, let's talk now. I gave you some examples about animals. Let's talk now about human beings and what happens physically just to human beings when we have an injury or when we have a broken bone or something physical that is a wound that we have not treated. So I'm giving you animal-like examples, but now I want to talk about just the human body. Let's just go there because we've all had wounds before when we have been injured. So when we have a wound that has not been treated, one of the most significant risks is that that wound is now prone to infection. We all know that. I'm not telling you something that you don't know. Well, the same thing happens with matters of the heart. When we do not deal with our broken heart, we now put our heart in a position where it can be infected, man, we also put our heart in a position where we compromise its function. What do you mean you compromise its function? Well, heart, we all know it's associated with love, right? Well, if your heart is broken and you have not allowed it to heal, then you compromise the ability of the heart to do what it is supposed to do, which is to show love and demonstrate and exhibit love. So how do you compromise it? If you don't deal with matters of the heart, you become bitter. If you don't deal with matters of the heart, you then become, man, you even think from a place of bitterness. You start having conversations and you speak from a place of bitterness. I'm talking about somebody that really understands how important it is to address a broken heart. You can tell when a person has a broken heart because they sometimes their words are very negative. They're thinking from a place of, I'm going to put a wall up in front of my heart so that nobody does this to me again. So then their character changes. They were a little bit more nicer or a different person before their heart changed. I know for sure that happened to me. Oh my goodness, I know for sure. When I was growing up, people was like, oh, she's just the sweetest, nicest person. And then later on, after my heart had been broken so many times, they're like, whoo, you kind of cutthroat, man, because I didn't allow my heart to heal. And I'm like, no one is going to hurt me and hurt my heart again. So yeah, I'm about to put up a shield because I don't want to feel that again. When if I just would have taken a moment to realize that I don't have to put a shield up to protect my heart from being broken again, all I needed to do was to acknowledge to God that I had a broken heart and I needed Him to heal it. A lot of times we try and do the healing part thinking that we, on our own. There are several steps that we can take to healing. The first one is acknowledging it, but in my mind, I'm like, I just need to put up a shield. Ain't nobody gonna do that to me again. When in actuality, if I just would have said, God, I need you to heal my broken heart. I mean, later down the road, I did that because my mind frame after divorce was, I'm hard, I'm strong, I can do this on my own. When in actuality, I made a lot of mistakes because I was trying to do it on my own. I don't want you to make those mistakes. When we do not deal with matters of the heart, whether it's brokenness, wounds, unforgiveness, anger, frustrations, when we do not deal with matters of the heart, we delay the healing process. We don't have time for delayed healing. We need the healing to take place so we can live the life that God intended for us to live. But if you don't acknowledge that you are broken and you have wounds, then we make decisions and attract things into our life that later when we heal, we're like, what the what? Let's talk a little bit about attraction. Let's talk about that. Why did I choose to use the word attraction? Because I believe in energy, like energies attracting like energies. When you're broken, you're going to attract someone into your life that is also broken. And y'all know what happens when you get two wounded people together. Nothing productive happens when two wounded folks come together. Well, what happens when a broken person attract someone who may not be broken or as broken? Well, then we develop what's called codependency, where now you have one person, the broken one, depending on the one that is healed and healthy, and now we're transferring energies over to them. Like attracts like. When you're healed, you attract someone that is also healed. When you're wounded, you attract wounded. And ain't nobody got time for that. So we have to get ourselves together. We have to heal the way God intended for us to heal so we can live this life that He intended for us to live, which is whole heal, and in abundance. I want to talk to you a little bit about, or just give you some examples of what an emotionally unhealthy person can attract into their life. So when a person is emotionally unhealthy, they begin to, and I see this often when I just scroll through people's stories on Facebook and I know what they've been through. When you are emotionally unhealthy, you engage in self-destructive behaviors. Now, behaviors, whether you acknowledge it or not, it's self-destructive if you have not allowed yourself to heal. Lakeisha, what are you talking about? What are some examples of self-destructive behavior? Excessive partying. Have y'all seen that? The moment they get a divorce, it's like, man, every weekend they're out somewhere, or even during the week, because they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to even display a persona that, man, what just happened, that didn't bother me at all. I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm this or that. That didn't bother me. She didn't faze me at all. Look, Facebook. Look, Instagram, I'm living my life like it's golden. But you're broken. And it's a facade that you're trying to put on to people, and it's self-destructive behavior. When you have unresolved emotional issues, it can lead to self-destructive behavior. Maybe sometimes I've seen folks that turn to substance to numb the pain. If anybody in here has ever dealt with a heartbreak, can you just put a hand in the chat box? I want to see if I'm talking to anybody that has any clue on what I'm talking about. Just put a hand in the chat box. Okay, I do see some folks have a clue on what I'm talking about. Because when you engage in self-destructive behavior, that could even lead to risky activities. It can lead to toxic relationships. It can lead to drama and conflicts in your life, where if you don't deal with those wounds, then it provokes, it invites drama to come into your life. It invites relationships that brings conflict into your life. And when we do not address our wounds and our brokenness, man, this one, y'all have to hear me on this one, because this one applied to me. We engage in repetitive negative patterns without addressing the wounds, without addressing the emotional brokenness. Then we attract similar negative situations, and we repeat those same type of relationships. We go from one broken relationship to another broken relationship, from that broken one to another, and then we say, man, they don't have no good women out here. When in actuality it's you, because you're broken. Man, I can't never find a nice man. How are you going to attract a nice man and you broken? No. Let's get to the point where we ask God, I don't want to attract anything right now until you heal my emotional wounds, until you heal my broken heart. Don't disqualify the beautiful women, men, this statement is for you. Don't disqualify all of the beautiful women that God created and say that there aren't any, that they're all this and this kind of way, because you're trying to attract a whole woman in your brokenness. Women, this message is for you. Don't go around saying, there are no more good men. I'm not going to date any black man. I'm going to switch to the white man. I don't care what race you switch to. If you're broken, you're broken. If you switch from a black man to a white man, you're going to attract a broken white man. We have to do better than that. Somebody just say it. You may not type it in the chat, but just say, I need to do better. We just have to do better. I want you to get to this point in your life, even now, where we focus on self-healing. Period, point blank. Take the time that you need to understand the healing process and your emotions. Allow yourself to grieve. the loss of the relationship, but begin the healing process. Do not stay broken long. We already talked about that in previous episodes when we do not address the wounds. We even talked about it tonight. What happens when you do not address the wounds? We attract predators and prey and are predators and scavengers that prey on our brokenness. I want you to look at who's in your supportive circle and surround yourself with people and friends that can provide encouragement and understanding. And then, as I mentioned to you, maybe in an early episode, when you're broken, do not rebound into another relationship. If you might be listening to this for the first time and say, why? Go back and listen to the previous episode. All of the episodes are on YouTube at the Leopard Chair with Lakeisha. And then, of course, if you need to seek professional help, by all means, don't hesitate to seek therapy or counseling and work through your wounds with someone more experienced. Listen to me carefully. I've done a couple of lessons or episodes on self-care. It's important to prioritize your well-being as well. Before we end this episode and this live, I want to remind you that God heals the brokenhearted. That's you. God heals your broken heart. If you would just take a moment to say, I acknowledge that I have a broken heart, and God, I need you to heal it. Or maybe you could even say, I'm not sure if my heart needs healing or broken, but God, if you see anything in me, emotionally, mentally, or if my heart has some issues, God, I give you permission to heal those issues and take them away. And then allow God to begin the healing process with you and trust God to do it. Stay still. Just rest for a moment and allow God to heal you. Don't be so quick, because we don't want to attract the wrong thing into our life. You, God, and a professional or a therapist, if needed, you can begin the work. Take the time that you need to begin the work so that when you get to your healed state, you're healed without any collateral damage. I hope the few things that have been shared with you in this live helps you on your healing journey. If you're listening and you know someone that can benefit from this episode, encourage them to go to my YouTube page at The Leopard Chair with Lakeisha. Encourage them to follow me on Instagram at snow_leopards_leap. I enjoyed this segment with you. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's segment. Let's just pray for a moment, and then I'll end the live. God, I pray for every single person that is hearing this live and listening to this episode with a broken heart, with emotional wounds. Lord, search our heart, search our mind and our thoughts. And if we give you permission, God, you have our permission, that if there's anything in our heart that is not like you, that is damaging, that we haven't even acknowledged, that we've covered up so deeply, we've just piled things on top and it's rooted deeply in us, we give you permission to uproot anything in our heart that is not like you. We surrender our emotions to you. The bitterness, the anger, the frustrations, the unforgiveness, Lord, the disappointments, God, we turn it over to you and say we don't even want to carry it anymore. God, I thank you that those that are listening on this live, that their healing journey will be a testimony to the kingdom of God. These things we ask in your Son Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you for tuning into the live. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, I want you to leap, leap,